Before cities, before roads, before the world was tamed, there was the wild, an endless expanse of towering forests, rivers untamed, and skies that stretched beyond the horizon. The land was vast, untouched, unconquered, until he arrived. They called him Paul Bunyan, a man so large his footsteps shook the earth, so strong he could clear an entire forest in a single day. His axe, mighty, gleaming, unyielding, cut through trees like a knife through butter. No land was too wild, no challenge too great. He was the master of the frontier, a giant in a world that had never seen his equal. But even giants must face the fury of nature. One winter, a storm unlike any before had descended upon the land. The sky turned white, the rivers froze solid, and the earth groaned under the weight of the snow. For weeks, the blizzard raged, swallowing the world in ice and silence. Paul pressed on through the howling frost, his great boots crunching through the frozen drifts, his breath rising in thick clouds. He had battled beasts, carved canyons, and shaped mountains, but even he had never known a storm like this. Then, through the swirling snow, he saw it, a shape, small, still, frozen in the drifts. Paul reached down, brushing away the frost, and there, in the palm of his massive hand, lay a calf. But not just any calf. This one was blue, bright blue, from horn to hoof. Its breath was faint, its tiny frame stiff from the cold. Paul studied the little creature, watching the rise and fall of its shallow breath. He had seen men fall to the cold, watched rivers turn to ice, heard the wind howl with fury. But something about this calf was different. There was a spark in it, a will, a fate bound to his own. Without hesitation, Paul wrapped the calf in his coat and carried it to his campfire. The flames roared to life, pushing back the night, casting long shadows through the endless snow. Slowly, warmth returned to the small blue creature. Its frozen breath turned steady. Its eyes, once clouded, now burned bright. Paul smiled. He had found a friend, and he named him Babe. Babe grew and grew and grew. What was once a small calf now towered beside Paul, as strong and mighty as the lumberjack himself. His hooves shook the valleys. His breath misted the air like storm clouds. Where Paul went, Babe followed. Where Babe wandered, Paul was never far behind. Together, they were giants, and as they roamed the land, they shaped it. Some say Paul carved the Grand Canyon, dragging his mighty axe through the earth. Others whisper that the Great Lakes were formed when Babe, thirsty from his travels, stomped his hooves into the ground, leaving craters so vast they filled with rainwater and became the mighty lakes we know today. They were not just wanderers, they were creators of legend. But even legends must face the passage of time. The forests they roamed have changed. The rivers they shaped have found new paths. The world they knew has faded into memory. And yet, the story remains. For some say, if you stand in the heart of the wilderness, where the trees still whisper secrets of old, if you listen closely in the hush of the wind, you might just hear it, the echo of Paul's mighty axe. This is the tale of Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox, a story of strength, of adventure, and of the magic that shaped a nation.